It's time for some hoops at FedEx Forum, home of the Grizzlies, and we're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. So Memphis will get the first possession. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Monte and George filling out the perimeter. Young is up there with Al Jefferson, and it's Teague in at the 1 spot.
And they get the first bucket of the game on that one.
I tell you what, fellas, I'm anticipating a good one here.
Here's Conley. The shot's good on the assist by Daniel. Conley's got his first 2 points.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Stolen by Michael Conley. Here's Carter. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Memphis shooting their first free throw of the game here.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
You know, something you can point to when you're talking about their areas of success last season, free throw shooting.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
Knocks it loose. And again, Memphis running the court in transition.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
Memphis on defense. Well, great to see, wasn't it, GA? Mike Conley remain with the Memphis Grizzlies, the team that drafted him, developed him, and with that ball club, with that culture there, he's developed into one of the best point guards in the league.
Yeah, and there was a lot of speculation that he was as good as gone. He said he wanted to see what other moves they'd make to improve, but he was pleased with their summer in the draft as well as free agency. And, of course, his 5-year, $153 million contract, the richest in NBA history.
Young with no one around. That ball's nice feed that time from George.
You really have to respect the mid-range game of Young. I mean, he hits it just enough to keep you honest.
Goes up on the wing. And it's Carter missing. And so it's Indiana with it. They trail by 11. And oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back. From downtown, and again it's Memphis with the 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy, fast break basket.
And on a really nice run here, and defensively, you've got to force them to operate in the half court. It allows you to put bodies on bodies.
And Vince Carter with the slam.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
They set the pick. Conley against T. Carter drives in. That shot off. Excellent D there from George. Takes a 3. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Grizzlies lead by 16. And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. During the break, the players getting refueled with Gatorade. They're looking amped up and ready to get going once again. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
Conley and Allen working once again together in the backcourt. Carter out there with Chandler Parsons, and it's Gasol and at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter. And they're pushing it up. Here's Carter, right through the D for the layup. Carter's got 14 points for the game.
Guys, they didn't waste that fast break opportunity. Good aggressive pass to get his teammate to the rim. I love it.
Not one of the biggest free agency moves of the past offseason, but had high impact with Chandler Parsons coming over to the Grizzlies. And, you know, Gia, you look at his skill set, and he fits right in with what Memphis is trying to do.
Yeah, I think overall Memphis had a great offseason, you know, in acquiring Parsons and retaining Conley. Memphis hadn't had a lot of luck luring big free agents in the past, and Parsons is perhaps one of their biggest gets as a franchise. And for Parsons, he gets a good deal for himself and continues to play for a team that has always been competitive.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Lavoy Allen's checked in for Young, and it's C.J. Miles in for Paul George.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
Pacers trail by 20. Feeds it to Miles. There's the dish to Turner. From the baseline. Parsons with the rebound. Memphis has gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. From the arc. That one falls, coming off Carter's feet. Carter's got 4 assists in the game.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And one of the more aggressive teams in the league this past offseason, looking to adjust their roster, the Indiana Pacers. I mean, the trade for Jeff Teague, another for Thaddeus Young, the signing of Al Jefferson. It's going to be interesting to see how all these new players gel in Nate McMillan's system.
You know, when you let Allen get comfortable from there, I mean, he's going to knock it down. He just measures these shots up really nicely, so expect him to go in when he gets it.
The shot's good from Carter.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
And Jeff Teague of Atlanta, and now of Indiana, more of a playmaking point guard. That's something the Pacers have lacked for a long time, Gio.
Yeah, and he's a guy who looks to push the ball aggressively in transition. And that's something, as you mentioned, the Pacers have been trying to do. Thaddeus Young, another player who fits that mold. Jefferson, more of a half court, but I think he gives them a nice option there with that second unit.
And here's Miles. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. 5 to shoot. Stuckey kicks to Young. From deep. Knocked away. Stuckey dishes to Miles. Allen for the 3. Got it off in time, but it's no good. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. It's the Grizzlies running away with this one. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. The one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
What a great game for Vince Carter in this one. He's got 19 points, and he's come away with 2 steals as well. He's blown up some plays out there.
And it also shows you the importance of intelligence as a defender because he has been a nightmare on the ball.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Pacers, George and Young are the forwards. Teague and Monte are the guard set. And it's Jefferson in at the center position. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, smartphones and other technology are ubiquitous nowadays. Clippers head coach Doc Rivers says teams do pay a price. Social media and texting has absolutely hurt chemistry, he said. He recalled his championship season with the Celtics. One of the best things that happened to them was during the preseason in Italy, the players couldn't get a wireless signal, and they had to actually talk with one another. Kevin?
Yeah, that connection between players can make a difference. Thanks, David.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
No doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
And the Grizzlies, one of the top contenders in the West for a number of years, now at a bit of a crossroads. What do you think?
Yeah, every team goes through this. There's a certain life cycle to any roster. The good news for the Grizzlies fans is that their front office has been right more often than not. We'll see if they can continue to pull another rabbit out of their hat.
And it's George finishing it off.
Boy, George has major hops. I mean, this guy just gets up big time for these throwdowns.
Daniels. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Daniels has got 4 points this quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And the Pacers call time here.
And the one thing you can say about the Grizzlies, year after year, defense has been their calling card. I mean, they do it with toughness, they do it with pace, and they have tremendous heart.
Here's T. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. George passes to Young. Stolen by Randolph. Here's Green. Battles through traffic and lays it in. You know, discussing the Grizzlies defense, it wasn't quite as locked down last year, Greg, as it had been.
Yeah, and the thing about playing good defense, it requires everyone to be on the same page. One weak link can cause a breakdown for the whole unit. And factor in the injuries for the Grizzlies last season, it's somewhat surprising their defense held up at all.
What a passing display he has put on here tonight.
Yeah, he's spoiling us, Greg. I mean, there's just another fantastic dime drop right there. That one certainly should make the highlight reel.
Carter with the three. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
And those triples, they sure do add up quickly, don't they? I mean, they've got to make some kind of adjustment here.
And, oh, here we go. Carter's got it in the fast break chance. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. It's on Monte Ellis.
You know, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Pacers were a much improved team last season, and easy to see why with Paul George back in full health. But this is a team that was the #1 seed in the East back in 2014. How do they get back, guys, to that level?
Well, guys, it's a whole new roster, a whole new style of play for them, so growing pains are inevitable. I thought getting to the playoffs, pushing the Raptors to 7 games in the first round was a good step. Really hard to compare this team with the Hibbert and West teams that got to back-to-back conference finals. I think they need another difference maker alongside Paul George to continue to rise in the Eastern Conference.
The Pacers have gotten every shot that dropped since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Outside, George, shot to stop the run. It's rebounded by Memphis. And Carter with the basket on the assist by Randolph. That's now 26 points for Vince Carter.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
And here's George for 3. Green. No good on the shot. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Grizzlies out in front. Here's Conley. We've got Conley. Green is out there with Carter. Then it's Zach Randolph. And it's Daniels in at the shooting guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. And for the Pacers, they're shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Miles, that's good.
That is what Miles is out there to do now. I mean, a very consistent 3-ball bomber.
Daniels kicks to Green. No one near Conley as he lets it go. Buries the long-range jumper.
And they're going to have a hard time climbing back into this game if they continue to defend like that.
Well, they're quite aware of the damage he can do from the perimeter and still not making the kind of effort needed to challenge him on the shot. That's inexcusable.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, he was way up there.
And laid in to finish the break. Conley's got 5 points now this quarter. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Memphis.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shot.
And also the ball hawking, the way they've come up with the steals, the way they've harassed the ball handler all day, forcing mistakes. They've really done a nice job of taking advantage. And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well coached. Wow! Are you? Oh, my goodness.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Grizzlies.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Carter. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in. And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Wright. Jermichael Green comes in for Jarrell Martin. Troy Daniels, he's checked in for James Ennis. And Mike Conley subbed in for Baldwin. Paul George, he's checked in for Indiana.
Terrific run to seal the deal.
Yeah, and now let's just keep an eye on how much longer they keep the foot on the accelerator.
Shoots a three. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
And you can sense the fact that they didn't want to let the fans down here. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
Greg, it really has been. I mean, such a lively, vibrant atmosphere, and no doubt that played a part in the big win. Well, you know, C.J. Miles was drafted right out of high school back in 2005 and has over a decade in the league now and really in his prime as an NBA player. He's a quality swing man. Can give you good minutes whether he's starting or coming off the bench.
Boy, he'd sure like to have that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving freebies at the line. The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. Good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots.
And Miles swinging to the power forward position defensively. We saw that throughout last season as the Pacers guys look to go small from time to time.
And, you know, the power forward position, not his best position defensively. Guys, his defense has improved overall in recent years, but his metrics defensively suffered because he was, in many cases, overmatched from a size standpoint. Offensively, he's a streaky shooter who can get it going from the three-point line and take you off the bounce in the paint.
So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Zach. Congrats on the win. How are you guys clicking and coming together at the defensive end?
We just talking. That's what we hang our hat on. It's a defensive end. We're a defensive team. And when everybody clicking and working together, talking on defensive end, that makes us a much better team.
Really looked like you were connected at that end, Zach. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.